Hello everyone, welcome in this series of Lighting Web Components. In chapter 2, we'll set up our playground where we can develop Lighting Web Components. So let's start. First, we will set up SFDX with VS Code. For that, we have to follow few steps. First, we will install Salesforce CLI. Then we will install Visual Studio Code. Then we will install VS Code extensions required for Lighting Web Component developments. Then finally, we will create developer org and set up the Dev Hub. Now let's see this in action. Search Salesforce CLI, then click on the first link. Here we will get three options. We can install it for macOS, Windows or Ubuntu. In my case, I have Windows system, so I will download the Windows version. Once it is downloaded, click on the exe file. This setup will install Salesforce CLI and it will set path to Salesforce CLI. And then click on the next button and finally click on the install button to install Salesforce CLI in your system. This will take some time. Once setup is finished, click on the close button. Now open the command prompt to verify whether the Salesforce CLI is installed or not. For that we have to write a command sfdx yeah, so it's installed correctly in our system. Now we can update the sfdx. For that we have to write sfdx update. Yeah, it's already on the latest version, so we are good. Now we can close this window. Now we have to install Visual Studio Code. For that, search Visual Studio Code and click on the first link. And here we have the options for macOS, Windows and Linux. As I'm on Windows machine, so I'll download the Windows version. Once it is downloaded, click on the exe file. Accept the terms and click on the next button. Then again next button. And then again next button. And here we can select the options, like I want to create a desktop icon, so I've selected that, and then click on the next button and finally hit the install. So now our setup is finished. We can click on the finish button.
Now to install Salesforce extension pack, we have to open VS Code and search for Salesforce extension pack. And then we have to select that and click on the install button. This will install Salesforce extension pack for us. As soon as it will get installed, we have to create a project. For that, we have to press Ctrl Shift P and select create project. And then we have to select standard project template. And then we have to give a project name. Here I will give my project. And then we have to select a location where we want to save our project. Now I will navigate to a few important files. The first one is VS Code settings file. Here we can set VS Code settings, and then we have a configuration file, project scratch definition. Here we can set the definition of our scratch org, and then here we have our project settings file. Then now first we have to sign up for developer edition org. For that we can search on Google, and then we have to click on the first link. Here we can give our details. We have to accept the terms, and finally click on sign me up. So now we have to check our email account, and then we have to click on this verify account link, and then we have to give our password and click on change password. Now we logged in our Salesforce developer edition org. Then we have to enable our dev hub. For that we have to click dev hub, and here we have to click on this enable button. This will enable dev hub in our developer edition org. Now we have to create a domain for us. For that we can go to my domain, and we have to give a unique domain here. Then we can check the availability, and then we have to click on the register domain button. It will take some time, and we will receive a notification. After that we can click on this login button, and it will log in with the domain which we have entered. Now we have to deploy this domain to all the users. For that we have to just scroll down in the same page, and here we will get a button deploy to users. Now we have to click on this button. So now this domain is available for all the users. Now we have to go back to the Visual Studio Code, and we have to press Ctrl Shift P, and then we have to authorize our dev hub. Then we have to select authorize a dev hub. It will open a login prompt where we have to enter our org username and password, and click on login button. This will authorize the dev hub in our IDE, VS Code IDE. Yes, so we are good to go here. Here we can see this has exited with a code 0, so we are fine. Now we have to create a scratch org. Now we have to select our definition file. We have selected the default one, and here we have to give a alias for the org, for the scratch org, and here I'm giving my scratch org as an alias, and it will ask you for the validity of the scratch org, so here I'm giving 30. And this will create a scratch org for us. Now if you want to open, we have to press here. It will open the scratch org, and if you see, Salesforce basically creates a random domain for us. With this we come on end of this session. Thanks everyone. Please let me know if you have any questions, and you can find me at aveshsingh172@gmail.com. Thank you everyone.